aloha themed music to accompany. Alright, so we're gonna start in a butterfly position, so bottom of our feet are gonna be together, but we're gonna be laying down on our backs. This can sometimes be a lot for the hip flexors, especially initially, so you might wanna make a fist and put those underneath your knees and kind of adjust that intensity. If you don't need to do that, then we're gonna have our hands on our chest and our belly, and we're gonna work on some diaphragmatic breathing. But if you need your hands into there, it's all good. So I'm just telling that little preface. Nice. Alrighty. So if your hands are underneath your knees for some support, all good. If our hands are free, let's go right hand on our heart, left hand on our belly. We're going to gradually work into our breath and just kind of naturally elongate it. Take a nice slow inhale through the nose, and on the exhales, air just kind of falling out of your nostrils. And we want to work on breathing through our diaphragm, so breathing through our belly. So our left hand should be rising. Right hand can move a little bit as well, that's all good, but you're going to feel most of the action in your belly when you breathe it in. So we're going to do some breaths together as we have been doing. So we'll go 3-second inhale, 3-second exhale, and then we'll slowly try to elongate that. And for these breaths, just going to breathe through our nose here. So work on that unless you have allergies or whatever. So 3-second inhale, 3-second exhale, breathing through our nose. Once again, looking for our belly to be rising here. So inhale through the nose, 3 seconds. Exhale, 3 seconds. Inhale, 4 seconds to the nose. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. We're getting long here, guys. 6-second inhale. Exhale, 6 seconds. And just find the natural cadence of your breath. Go ahead and close your knees up like a book, so use your hands to kind of help close your knees up. And then go along with both legs. Interlace your hands, wrap them around your right shin. And we're going to do a little half wind relieving pose. So what you want to do is just using that upper body strength, you just want to pull your right knee in towards your right armpit. And for me, I usually like to pull up, but also a little bit out. That's just kind of how my hips are. So that might help me feel the stretch a little bit more. And once again, use that upper body strength. Active through our feet here, so toes on both legs or facing the ceiling. Go ahead and release. Right leg's going to go long. And release your hands around your left shin. Same thing, just other side. Pull that left knee towards your left armpit. Toes are active and up. Once again, maybe you're pulling it up and out. Where we're feeling this stretch more. Use your strength. Slowly release. You're going to plant your left foot on the ground. Your right ankle is going to be planted on this left knee for a little figure 4 stretch. First, get active, just kind of opening up through this right hip. So you're trying to push this right knee away from your face. We're going to interlace our palms, wrap around our left hamstring, back of our left leg, for a little figure 4 here. Active through our feet. pulling in through the left side, but also pushing our right side away. It's a little contrast on our hips. And we're breathing. As we're making our way through, finding that elongated exhale, elongated inhale. Don't slingshot, slowly release your hands. Left foot's gonna fall to the ground. Arms can be out to a T, so they can be out long or bend them. We're gonna do a little rotation here, both legs falling over to your left side. If it feels okay on your neck, you can look over your right shoulder, a little cervical rotation. And just let gravity do the work right here. Using our breath to help facilitate a further range of motion. So every exhale, we're just trying to get deeper into all these stretches. Go ahead and reset back to the top, and then we'll switch. Our right foot's going to be planted, a left ankle over our right knee. First, active through this left side, so pushing that left hip open, and then wrapping our hands around our right thigh. And hitting this figure 4 stretch. Toes are up, toes are active. Left knee, we want it far from our face, as far as you can. Our right side, we're pulling in. Really opening up through this left side hip. Spine is relaxed on the ground, and we're finding that slow, steady breath. Slowly release your fingers. Right foot planted on the ground. Wherever your arms go out for the last rotation, find that same place. And then send both feet over to the right side. Looking over our left shoulder. It's all good on the neck. And just like how we began, we were trying to breathe into our belly. Try to find that here. Slowly reset. Legs up. We're gonna come out long and then we'll sit up. Slowly make your way to all 4. So hands and knees. Oh, what's up, Steve? What's up, Cam? Envy. See you guys coming on in. Nice. All right, so hands and knees, we're going wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're gonna start with a little juice it up. So let's get our hip rotations going. Hands are planted, fingers are spread out wide, just like we practice for our push-ups. And we're just doing some hip rotation. So whatever way calls to you. I'm trying to make it different every time we do this. I'm trying to throw the juice it up in more. So for good feedback. But we want to still try to make each time kind of new, so no one gets trapped into those patterns. Make sure to switch up the direction of rotation, big circles, little hip circles, whatever. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and come back to all 4s. Alright, let's get it going with a little bit of cat-cow action right here, so some spinal articulations. So just to remind you, I know most of you guys are familiar with this, but for our cow, we're bending at the elbows, we're looking up, lifting our chest down. And on cat, we're doing the exact opposite, fingers spread wide. We're rounding and doming our spine, tucking our chin to our chest, and tucking our tailbone. So, we're gonna inhale, look up, dipping our chest down, hitting our cow pose, and draw through the collarbone. Exhale, the exact opposite. Arching and doming our spine, fingers are pressed, spreading our shoulder blades. Inhale, cow, look up, lift your chest down. Exhale, round and dome your spine, let's hit our cat. Inhale, bend at the elbows, look up. Exhale, all 10 fingers are pressed, round and dome your spine. One more time too. Inhale, look up the top. Exhale, round down your spine. Cat. And then go ahead and reset. Walking our hands back a little bit, coming down to the ground. Press up for a little cobra pose. Broad collarbone here, so separating our shoulders from our ears. Look up if it feels okay. Glutes are relaxed. Slowly lower yourself to the ground. We're gonna make our way to a locust pose. So first, what that's gonna mean is legs are going to be together, toes are going to be pointed, and I really want you to, we're going to lift our feet up off the ground, but I more so want you to do that by pushing your pelvis into the ground. First thing we're going to do, palms going to face the ground, and we want to lift our chest, just kind of peel it up off the ground. Push your pelvis into the ground, that's going to lift everything up off the ground, and we're squeezing our legs together, we're holding. Tucking our chin to our chest right here as well, so we're not kind of cranking our neck. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and reset. Let's hit our locust pose. Push your pelvis into the ground. Peel your heart up off the ground. Broad collarbone here. Hold for 5, 3, 2, 1. And we lower. One more time. Push your pelvis into the ground. Collarbone broad, chin is tucked. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we lower. Go ahead and we want palms right underneath our armpits. Press up and then shift your hips backwards for a child's pose. Knees are wide, feet are together. Curl your fingers as tall as you can, so really reach into those fingers, but also sinking your hips back, so get a little lat stretch here. And forehead to mat. Hips come forward, sink it down, and then press up. Let's hit our cobra, glutes are relaxed. Look up if it feels okay. Shoulders are down and back. And then make our way back to all fours. Alright, let's hit some quick thoracic rotations right here. So you take your right hand, it's going to be on your neck essentially. What we want to do is reach this triangle right here from this plant, this elbow right here, and then we just want to reach it as close as, kind of aim for the ceiling. But we're trying to move through the middle of our spine, so try to keep your hips still. It might mean you can't reach up as much, and that's okay, because we're trying to move through the middle of our back. And go ahead and just do a couple of these on your own cadence. Hips are staying nice and still. And if you can work your breath into it, inhale as your elbow comes down. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and plant your right hand to the ground, left hand behind, and we're just doing the same thing but on the other side. Root down. Nice slow, steady cadence, almost like we're moving through honey. We're not in a rush right here. Keep your hips still. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and reset back to all fours. Send both feet back, tuck your toes. Let's come to a plank position. So we're actively pushing through all 10 fingers. Abs are engaged. Booty squeeze. Hold our plank. 5. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Shift your hips upwards, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. And then pedal it on out, one leg at a time. Get those calves a little stretch. Give your hammies a little stretch. Stop bending your knees, and you're going to walk your hands backwards on your mat to meet your feet. Head's hanging heavy. Arms kind of interlaced at your elbows here, so we're taking a little ragdoll. Nod your head yes. Shake it out no. One vertebrae at a time and slowly roll up to stand. Arms going up overhead and then drop them to heart center. Alrighty. So let's hit our mountain pose. So our active stand, shoulders down and back, palms are going to be at our side, facing away. Rooted down through our feet here, big toe, pinky toe, heel. And kind of like try to spread out the ground. Sounds kind of funky, but it'll activate your quads. So we're actively standing here, feel nice and strong, nice and rooted down. Let's take a steeple grip, so fingers are going to be laced. Going to make like kind of like a pistol right here. And then we'll go up and overhead. Biceps at the ears. Actively standing, so we're rooting down, half moon to the right. So we're kind of crunching through this right side, being nice and broad to the left side of our chest. Breathe. We'll reset and then send it on over to the left side. Still active through our feet, crunching through our left side, broad through the right chest. And then go ahead and reset. Reset back to your mountain pose. Keep most of the weight on your right foot. Go ahead and grab your left foot and take a little standing quad stretch. Squeeze your booty so you feel this more in this left hip flexor. And try to keep your knees together. So you guys are familiar with this one. Pretty standard. And honestly, I feel like some of the best way to get into your quads is to foam roll them or to lacrosse ball them. So if you have super tight quads, that might be the best option for you. Go ahead and slowly release, don't slingshot. Kick that left foot forward, so same foot. We're gonna take this little hamstring stretch, soft bend in our left knee. Back is flat. Fold first with our flat back, so like a deadlift. And then we'll round through and fold over our left foot. Let that head hang heavy. I'm not going to cue you into it, but each exhale, maybe trying to dip that head just a millimeter closer to the ground. Inhale, let's go ahead and reset. Put most of the weight rooted down through your left foot. Whoops, and then we'll grab our right foot, little standing quad stretch. Knees are trying to stay together right here. Once you got your balance, squeeze your booty. Feel that stretch on the right hip flexor a little bit more. Breathe in. See if we can do a nice kind of graceful transition, not slingshotting. Just kind of making our way, kick, standing that right foot forward, soft bend in our right knee, hips back, and then fold over. Using that exhale and get your head a little bit more into this fold. Come up and reset. Feet are going to be out wide, turn sideways on your mat. So feet are wide, toes are going to be pointed forward. Interlace your hands around or behind your back, excuse me. Try to have your palms stay close together. It's going to be depending on your level of shoulder mobility. I usually like trying to fight to stay together, but we're trying to keep our palms together. So shoulders roll down and back. We're going to go ahead and fold over, and our hands are going up and overhead. Come back up. Don't slingshot. We're going to slowly release. Arms out to a T. Flat back will fold, and then around through, but plant both hands on the ground. Left hand staying planted. Rotate your right arm towards the ceiling. Switch. Right hand planted. Left arm towards the ceiling. Both hands planted on the ground. We'll stand up nice and tall. Come to the front of your mat. Keep the left foot planted. We're going to take our right leg, swing it in front of your left foot, and then forward fold. We used to do this stretch when I played football, and I have not really done it since then, but it's phenomenal. Reset, and we'll switch. Take our left foot behind, and then we'll fold over once again. Trying to find your breath. Alright, go ahead and come up nice and tall. Soft bend in your knees, arms out to a T. Or go ahead and forward fold, plant your hands on the ground. Walk your feet back to a plank position. Shift your hips upwards, downward facing dog. Take a quick little pedal right here, so pedal it on out. Slowly lower down to the ground. Press up, cobra. Booty is relaxed. Go ahead and tuck your toes, find that plank position. Step through with your right foot, drop your left knee down to the ground. We're gonna frame your front foot, so one hand to the left, one hand to the right. Your stretches might go like 5 minutes longer than typical. So if you gotta go, I understand, but got a couple more. So we're leaning into this runner's lunge. And finding that nice, slow, steady cadence of breath. Just trying to elongate it. It's not a Hawaiian playlist anymore. Dig your right heel into the ground, shift your hips back, half splits. Bend this front knee as much as needed. You want to soft bend it just because I don't want you guys to hyperextend. And then fold over. Walk your hands forward, come back to your runner's lunge. Plant both hands. And then switch your feet out. So left foot's going to be forward, untuck your back toes. One hand to the left, one hand to the right of this left foot. And we'll lean into it, runner's lunge. Finding our breath. For me, any sort of hip stuff, it's just a constant reminder, find my breath. Stop clenching, breathe. Take your left heel into the ground, let's shift your hips backwards, half splits. Toes are active on this left side, so just a reminder, toes are up. Fold it over. Slowly walk our hands back forward. Hands are going to be planted. Send both feet back. Shift your hips up. Downward dog. Pedal it on out. Drop to all fours. And then, if it feels okay, we go ahead and sit on our feet. Or sit on our legs. So that's going to be the morning mobility I got for you guys today. On this beautiful Aloha Friday. Yes, I have a quote for you guys. Before I get on out of here, per usual. And of course, a namaste. So the divine in me honors and sees the divine in you guys. And thank you guys for showing up. Really do appreciate it. It'd be really weird if I did this and no one tuned in. Here's the quote. Genius often really is just persistence in disguise. Ryan Holiday. Great author, would recommend Stillness is the Key. Sweet. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in here on Monday, Savage Sunday. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, morning mobility, we're keeping it rolling. Thanks for coming.